All right, all right. Welcome to November's Mastery Monday. Welcome to November. What All right, it's been so far, huh? Wow. So I know it's been a lot of energy, a lot of energy, a lot of energy moving through to really allow us to come into that self of ourself, embracing ourselves and really truly stepping into these places that are calling deep from within to keep saying yes to the self, and keep letting all that we no longer need to dissipate and shift. And so I'll be sharing more about that and some of the uh, specific energetics that I'm perceiving, through the earth and beyond, that's supporting this experience and how it may be affecting us more and more. And then I'll lead a short meditation to integrate all that we've been experiencing, as well as open up the space afterwards to allow you to come in and share and talk and be supported if needed. And I'll start with a short guided presencing, unifying meditation to open the space. And so we'll be here together for about an hour and we'll go from there. So just inviting yourself in this moment to take a deep breath if you wish, to close your eyes, keep them open, whatever feels good for you right now. As we breathe in, we're allowing ourselves to just give ourselves even more permission to connect with ourselves, to connect with our hearts and our voice within. We're taking with each breath, we are breathing, letting the breath really enter the body, allowing the space of our body to open with our breath. That as we're breathing in and out, being in the simplicity of the breath itself. Breath just naturally goes in, naturally comes out. And this is our life. It's our life energy of the within and the without, together as one. Welcoming the presence of our breath to allow our mind and our body, maybe any emotions or experiences, to have an opportunity to rest and relax and come into a space of nourishment and support and connection. As you breathe in, welcome this breath in, beautiful light of life that's connecting through every part of the body. And as you're exhaling, that it's flowing around the whole energy body, creating a beautiful white light or any other light that feels aligned for you, to hold you, allowing any energies that you no longer need to hold on to from any people, any places, any experiences, to gently release from your body, your energy body, through any cords or interactions or energy, just letting them all, sending them all to source, calling all of your energy to yourself in its highest, purest forms, welcoming yourself to this moment with your breath, breathing into the center of your body, Maybe it's through your heart, through your belly, welcoming yourself home to your body. As we bring a nice white light through the top of the head, all flowing down through the center channel of your body. As it flows down through the head, just letting the mind soften and quiet, letting any thoughts go with it as it flows down through the throat and the heart, solar plexus, allowing any energies just empty into this light. Continue to quiet as it flows down into the sacral and through the root. Letting the root open up and the bottoms of your feet to open up, to let this energy just flow all the way down into the center of the earth. To be met by a pure white light in the center of the earth. Bring it back up with your inhale. To continue to quiet and open, connect in with the essence of yourself and the essence of life that flows through the center channel. Just taking a deep breath in. Technology is choosing to be a little funny today. That's okay. Just taking a deep breath in and allowing yourself to presence here. Ah, thank you. Thank you for allowing yourself to be here today, just bringing yourself to the space around you. Yes. So we're in quite a elevated time right now of consciousness. We're in a profound time of rebirthing. We're in a profound time of allowing the pieces of ourselves to really ignite and spark the truth of those inner spaces that may have been neglected, the inner spaces that may have been just dormant. And a lot of that is popping right now. A lot of that is really, really opening up as a lot of the identities of this planet are even shifting. And what I'm watching through the field right now is even the energy centers of Earth and the sun, it's just like popping, like all these, it's like all these bubbles are popping, and these plasmatic energetic sequences are being all the codes are being just popped out of the sun. It's just like pop 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 and it's just constant, and out of the earth as well. And I'm seeing that with people too. It's like, whoa, okay, whoa, just these like consistent waves of oscillating energies of going, okay, there's a challenge. Oh, ooh, feeling elevated and in my body. Then, ooh, here comes something that's surfacing, or here, it's just this consistent, you know, thing that just keeps us on our toes right now, and maybe having to be really clear about what we are in alignment with. So if we have to redirect, if we have to pivot, if we have to adjust, that we give ourselves that space to do that, so that we stay in this presence of ourselves. We're staying in this experience of ourselves so that as our nerve system, maybe our bodies, our minds, our experience right now is getting squeezed through the birth canal, right? What wants to happen, and when I'm watching through the whole cosmos, watching through the whole experience, is anywhere that we've attached ourselves to an identity, anywhere that we've attached ourselves to a pattern, anywhere that we've attached ourselves to some sense of who we are. It's like all that wants to dissipate, all that wants to just go, what if we don't have any descriptors? What if we don't have any things that we're saying, this is me, or this is how I am, or this is, this is the experience of how we create that safety or security as an identity. What if we just say, this is who I am right now, in this moment, and allow all of that energy that we're holding in any pockets of our reality, right? That maybe are now a limitation to us. So I've been going through a lot of redirect myself and going, wow, who is this now? What does this want to be? What wants to flow through this moment? And what does that look like? And is it okay if I don't know? Like, some of our interests may be changing. Some of the things that we may felt really plugged into before, we don't anymore. And new things may be coming to us, or maybe we're just like, I have no idea. I have no idea. Can we be okay without having an idea? And that's the purity of the innocence that is really wanting to come alive in us right now, to say, hey, you don't have to be anything. The mind wants to grasp, the mind wants to hold. But what if we say, hey, mind, I want to invite you into a new adventure, into a new exploration, and invite the body into a new adventure and a new exploration. Invite the energy and invite the soul into this space that permeates the source experience. The source experience right now is flooding through, and it's flooding through really intensely to say, hey, it just wants to be in harmony with life itself and just have an experience that's free of the identifiers. And there's a lot of freedom in that. There's a lot of liberation in that. There's a lot of uh, peace and relaxation that comes with that, because then within the experience of doing something, like, say, you're like, well, maybe I identify myself in this career, identify myself as this role as a mother, a father, a grandparent, or a cousin, or an auntie, or an uncle, or whatever it is, right? What if I say, yeah, I have these relationships, I have this extended experience of myself and how I get to relate and move in reality, but how am I relating to that identity from within here? What ideas and things have I placed on that identity that are maybe keeping me from having a fuller experience of that relationship, right? And so going into that, going, well, who am I in this role today? Who am I in this experience today, in this moment? And that's just what wants to really be nurtured and nourished right now. And I know a lot of intensity has been happening within that, physically, mentally, emotionally. There's been so much surfacing and coming up in some of the most amazing and profound and inspiring ways, and some of the most, like, put your head under the covers and hide for a little bit moments, um, and even watching the higher octaves of nature show themselves, in our relationship to that connection. It's like, as the divine self is emerging through the living consciousness of the planet, I'm just watching, it's almost like I'm watching nature watch us, going, like the divine natural spirit of nature and source itself through the elements watching us and going, look at us. We're just here. We're just being. Let's all do that together. And a lot of it can feel really cataclysmic sometimes, when parts of ourselves are dissolving and we have nothing to hold on to. And I had this dream yesterday morning. It was one of those dreams that you have right before waking. And sometimes those are the most, intense, or you remember the most and they're the most vivid. It was for me. And I remember seeing, and this is what's happening too, is like this, the imposter idea of the self, or the imposter idea of, identity itself. And I was watching these master beings in a room, right? I'm just the observer looking into this room, and there was these master beings standing around, and then there was another one that showed up and started talking to them, but they could see that that other being was a false identity. It was posing to be something that it wasn't, because there was a whole show going on behind it that was like trying to insert, a false program into this creative reality. And I was standing there and I'm like, do you see this? Like, wait, this isn't real. This isn't real. And all of a sudden I was given this piece of, it was just like this thing in my hand that I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what is this thing? Why am I holding on to this thing? And all of a sudden, like behind this being, this whole device showed up. And I'll share a little bit more about this after I share the dream. And I heard, just stick it in the center of that device. And I stuck it in the center of it, and it just like exploded. The whole thing, this whole device thing, which was like a geometric device that holds false programs in the earth, exploded. And then all of a sudden, the sun, the earth, all the planets, all of us just went into one, just unified, and went into nothingness, and then came back out with more harmony, instilled in the geometry, instilled in the unity of the self. And I woke up and I was just like, whoa, like that's what's happening right now, right? That's what's happening right now. We're being called so deeply inward into the unity of the self, so that when we exhale and come back into how we're moving into the world, we're moving with more harmony. And a lot of these false programs are just popping out of the planet. Like it's like expelling them. It's like, I'm not holding on to any of these anymore, right? I don't want any part in any of this, false experience anymore. And I think a lot of us are feeling that right now too. Like we're just so ready to shed, so ready to shed what isn't our truth. And that can be really uncomfortable sometimes too, when there's, the mind wants to keep trying to understand it or figure it out or have something to hold on to. And it's time to switch modes of our brain to the true brain, the brain that's not going to hold on to old patterns, but the brain that is consistently able to adjust and move with the energetic flow of the body. So as we're shifting, and over the years, I've been guided to be on different parts of the planet physically and astrally to shift a lot of these devices that have been held in gridlock, through the grid. And right now, as those are popping even more, they're popping out of us. And so when you feel those things surfacing, or you see those things surfacing, or the patterns or the layers of the self surfacing, and maybe you're having challenges with a partner or yourself, or you have interactions with other people that feels, like I didn't want to say that, or I didn't feel that way, or whoa, that was intense. Just like, oh, whoa, there's something here that wants to clear. There's something here that wants to be seen. And can I nurture that and love that too? So that we can shift into what's really underneath it and understand the beauty within ourself that we've been holding and covering up, whatever it is that we've been holding through that false program, right? So it's just a perfect time for self-reflection, a perfect time to just dive even deeper the more that you can, and be and support yourself and saying, okay, we're also in what we call, Scorpio season, where, if you You're going to dive into the deep no matter what, because that's what we do. That's what we Scorpios do. We're going to dive into the deepest depths of the core of whatever and, you know, feel okay. Feel okay there and let it surface and let ourselves have that transmutation. This is a time of powerful transmutation because these choice points that we're in to choose the transmutation and choose the new embodiments, we're headed into a moment of that 180 flip of our whole existence to shift into that the mass collective right now, as it's allowing us, as we're all shifting to go, okay, this is a part of the anchoring of a whole new reality. So it's kind of going, okay, it's going to get more and more and more intense. And I can see these waves happening through, the next several months. But each time, what happens is some of you maybe experience, oh, wow, we're really taking on a whole new experience. And if we can embrace that new experience, even though it may be unknown, we get that inspiration. We get to be in the present moment with it rather than projecting the past or the future or any part of reality onto it. And that's what we're asking to be done, is no longer coming into that point of projection of anything. We're just existing, and everything is pivoting and adjusting and rearranging itself very, very quickly in that quantum space, right? So we're asked to disentangle from ourselves even, and really come into that deep witnessing and observation of the self, so that we can not be entangled in anything really, and allow that unified field to just keep supporting us, creating that strength of the inner self. And so we can embrace ourselves, embrace life, and not get caught up in any image of what that is. Freedom. Freedom in a way that we may have never known. And it's quite exciting. It's quite amazing. And I know that some days it's not easy. Some days are a breeze, like this beautiful breeze we have right now, and some days it's one thing after another that feels like we're getting really challenged. And really, it's not about being challenged, just about going, oh, okay, this needs to be acknowledged, this needs to be tended to. It's like kind of taking that wound and saying, how can I really tend to you right now? And yesterday, I don't know if any of you experienced that yesterday, but a lot was popping yesterday. A lot was moving yesterday. So let's go into a short meditation to allow ourselves to just settle, tend to those spaces that I have been embodying, that have been opening up for us, that maybe we're holding as a challenge or tension in our system, and just let us have some space with that. Let ourselves have some connection to that. So let's just take a moment here, take a deep breath in. Just quieting down, allowing self to just welcome yourself into a neutral space where anything that you heard or you felt throughout this experience, just like, okay, and just welcome the mind, the body, just welcome all levels of your being to be neutral, to be observing, to witness. Oh, taking a deep breath in. And as you're taking a deep breath in and welcoming your presence, just feeling your body with your breath, again connecting into your deep presence of self, the deep presence of the neutral mind, neutral body, neutral emotional body, welcoming welcoming to see through the lens of the soul in this moment. As the source and the soul want to be embodied, to be embraced as the true self, the true presence of the self. It's being surrounded by a bubble of love and compassion and support, welcoming in the purest love and the purest intelligence and the purest wisdom of yourself to just embrace you, hold you. Ooh, good. Just feeling that sense of um, relief as we tend to the nerve system and the body, to just be relieved of anything it's holding on to right now. And just sending it into that light. It doesn't have to hold on to anything in this moment. Taking some breaths into the heart and welcoming all that may have been felt, and just also welcoming the breath and the light into the solar plexus and the sacral and the root of the body, so that we can continue to just dissolve any of the energies that have had us plugged into anything of the ego, of the mind, the identities, of the name. Welcoming in the pure flow of the self and the source self, flow through these areas of the body. To feel in these times that we still can be present in the body, rooted and grounded, connected. Good. So we welcome the wholeness of this body, the wholeness of this energy body to harmonize with the heart, the mind, the body, and the soul, as we just ask for any of the energies or thoughts or patterns or things that have been arising for us, surfacing for us. We just let go. Just let go. Just let go. Welcome into self-love, to welcome into the safety, the safety, the safety and connection to the open space where everything exists within you, that flows the freedom and the moment to moment presence of yourself. Just notice any places where you just want to embrace yourself. Maybe some things that have been feeling a little tricky or uncomfortable. Maybe parts of yourself that you've still been rejecting. Just taking this moment to say, wow, how much more can I embrace these parts of myself, this part of self, this part of source that just had an expression. Beautiful. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. As you're breathing into this, welcoming in that sense of freedom and space and connection. It's expansive and grounded at the same time. That gives you that fluid flow of access to yourself. This neutral space of presence, free of tension, free of expectation, free of judgment, free of limitation. Just letting the self be. This moment, just take some moments of stillness to just allow the self to be. Just welcoming yourself into the center of your body, inviting stillness, quietness. Beautiful. And taking a deep breath into this space, inviting this stillness to permeate every part of your being, that you're able to join with stillness more and more in your moments of self, your moments of movement, your moments of the deepest embrace. of yourself in this moment. Sensing how this supports and optimizes your experience of life, to be in the fluid flow of the present moment, that whatever arises in the present moment is a part of yourself, is a part of source, and gets to just be acknowledged. Just taking a deep breath in and feeling the body, acknowledging your body, acknowledging your breath, acknowledging all of you. Just having gratitude in this moment for all of you, all parts of yourself, all parts that have been emerging, all parts of yourself that have been embodying, all the parts of yourself. Deep gratitude for this moment, for all moments, as all moments as the most beautiful guide. Just feeling your body, feeling the temperature of the air, feeling the space around you. Mm. When you're ready, just welcoming yourself to this moment. Bring your moment to the space around you. All is in resonance with the perfection of you. The perfection of you. Yeah. So in this, what we're really being called to do as well is to just shift resistance. Shift from resistance to embrace even more. And recognizing that some of the resistances we may feel to the self or to the world right now are really just great opportunities to expand and open, or opportunities to just know where we're limiting our mind or the experience of the self. And that resistance itself is, I guess I'll put it this way, almost futile right now, right? Because we're it's only going to exacerbate, that which wants to open and make it a little more challenging. So, yeah. So I'd love to hear from anybody through chat. If you want to share in chat what you're experiencing, what's happening for you, what's coming alive for you. If you have any questions, or you can raise your hand through participants or chat if you want to come on and share your voice. Yeah. So as I'm reflecting on this, it's almost like coming from it's like the maturation of the brain as a child, right? To where we're shifting from, just being in curiosity and experience to our programs. And I feel like what we're doing is we're flipping that, going from, wait, no, I want to go back into that just pure innocent space, because for those of you who know, and I've been, delving more into this, having my own child who's 8, and people around me who understand, the process of what can happen through life, through our cycles, uh, is that, we're pretty much like in what we call a theta brainwave through age 7, where we're just in this, and we go into theta when we're in this moment too together, where we just drop into that more meditative, deeper space where we're more in that meditative, dreaming, connected, flowing space, to where things can happen more quickly within our field of experience of shifting and transformation and embodiment. And so, and then, as we go into 8 years old, and I'm watching this even with my son, it's been fascinating to watch this and track. He's like, oh, I'm more conscious of my choices, and I'm able to actually view what's happening. And, then also seeing what happens when he's just acting out of, the automatic of what he's been shown through his experiences for the first 7 years. And so right now what I'm seeing is we have that opportunity to go, okay, we're not going to be operating out of programs anymore. We're going to be operating from these higher mind centers of our brain that don't hold on to the programs, don't hold on to anything. We're just meant to be that fluid flow of experience. That's why we have energy channels in our body. That's why we have, we engage with flow of reality, right? When we feel that, it feels so more natural, right? It feels so much more freeing and connected. And it's like, yeah, we don't have those stagnancies, or those, what I call those, the interruptions. And noticing, and that's another piece right now that came through, is like, that just actually came through. I was set up at a little mini expo on Saturday, and one of the messages I received with the person I was working with was, how there are some people who are just, maybe fast thinkers, and they're always interrupting people when they're talking, because they're just ahead of everybody, and they just want to like say what they want to say, and they're just like, like blah blah blah. And but also just noticing, where it is also, so the reflection is where are you interrupting yourself? Where are you interrupting yourself? So where are we constantly in motion and not in that presence of the self? So we're kind of interrupting that natural flow. We're interrupting what's really present, what's really true, rather than just letting everything cycle so fast, and we're so, ahead of the moment, that we're not allowing just to be, that stillness, that sense of groundedness, that sense of inwardness, where we can just observe and witness and connect, have more deeper connection with the self. So just maybe notice that yourself, like where maybe you're interrupting yourself. Right? It's a powerful place to start to to engage with. So thank you, Cindy. I love the meditation. I realized that I am my own prodigal son. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Play that song now. All right. All right. Sarah, your energy updates are always so beautiful and on point. This is exactly what's happening for me even this morning. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you being here. And Savannah, I got to play with my inner child. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Because that's what happens in the freedom, right? Is that inner curiosity just, wow, we get to play more, we get to relax more, we get to laugh more, we get to feel that joy, we get to feel that connection, we get to feel more light and more expandedness, instead of just that rigorous go, go, achieve, do, All right, Gordon, I'd love to hear you. Yeah, come on.
Hey, fabulous meditation, and welcome, and hi everyone. Right towards the end of the meditation, when you started speaking about being neutral and the shifting of, being called to just shift out of resistance, I had this experience in terms of the threads of my identity that are wrapped around what I want in life and what I don't want in life. Because that's, I go back and forth between that, like we all do. And it became so clear that there's nothing to be gained from even wanting anything other than on a very intentional level. Because the truth is, I just saw that when I let go of that wanting or pushing away kind of thing, whatever it is that I need and whatever I want, it's coming anyway. It's already there. And so it takes out this whole level of preoccupation and activity that we don't need. So thanks for that. That was great.
Yeehaw! Yay! Yes, the preoccupation of the desire, right? Oh, so big, right? So fascinating. How, and that's like, I love it, Gordon. Thank you. Thank you for allowing that awareness and shift, because it's so true. And it was funny, Fred and I were just talking about this yesterday, of how wrapped up we are in desires and the identities that those desires create, and then the tensions and the expectations and the, all of the stuff that those desires create, and how it just burdens and limits the the self, because the self is going, wait, I'm over here, but no, it's like, I gotta have this, I want that, and I want to create this, and like constantly like pushing that projection, that into the world, and it's like, discombobulates, the whole experience. And so what happens when we go, yeah, I acknowledge I want that. Okay, how does that fit in to what really just wants to be? And the softness that creates of going, well, if it's meant to be, like you said, it will arise just from me naturally being and being in tune with maybe that true passion or true alignment, whatever it is. Yeah, thank you, Gordon. That's so gorgeous. And hope it resonates for other people and supports other people beautifully. Yeah. Yay, Ray. Oh my goodness, Ray. It's so funny. I was going to message you yesterday. You came into my field so strong, like, I want to connect with Ray. And here you are. I love it. So come on. I love to hear your beautiful voice.
I heard you.
Yay.
Hi, everyone. So happy, grateful to be here. I was gardening, transplanting plants, and just noticed what time it was. And so I was really happy. I mean, I was a little bit late, but still really happy to be here. What has been opening up for me and connected into what Gordon, what you just shared, and also what you were sharing earlier, Kristen, is how what it can be. You can use a lot of different words to describe things, obviously, but one version is what I want and what I don't want, and then another version is what resonates and what doesn't resonate. And what I have been noticing, two things. One is that what doesn't resonate is just as useful as what does resonate, because it's like, oh, okay, this doesn't resonate. Oh, that's helpful, because then that helps me understand what doesn't resonate. And then, but instead of, like, I used to just interpret that it's because I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not on the right track, or I'm making poor decisions, or I am unworthy, or whatever versions of self-destruction you can think of, because things aren't going right, or things are hurt or whatever. And so I've just been really playing with that, like what you were saying, Gordon, about I want this or I want that, instead just like being receptive to like receiving things, but also noticing whether that's aligned in the longer version, which I don't really know what that means as it comes out of my mouth, but so that's one thing. It's just like playing with what resonates and what doesn't resonate as equal value to what can serve me to understand better what decisions to take or to make. And then the other thing that's emerging is how being open to how the yeses are going to be different and the no's are going to be different. And it might feel weird at first to just be like, oh, I want to say yes to this. Oh, how interesting. I've never said yes to this before. Yeah. Or no, or, you know, and just welcoming in these new yeses and new no's from a place of wonder and yeah, curiosity, I guess, is really, anyway. So that's just sort of what popped for me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I love that, you know, that you're in that space of welcoming the no's, or welcoming what's not in resonance or not aligned, as an opportunity to just reflect. Oh, that's great. That's something to know about myself, or something to know, rather than, oh, whoa, I was, you know, doing something wrong or tapping into something that wasn't right. You know, I mean, that's such a, it's so superb, right? To like see that, you know, and that the no's are an amazing opportunity to learn and grow, just as the yeses are. And when you were saying that long-term thing, right? Like, what does that mean? You know, what does that mean if this is aligned with what's long-term? It's going, that's where we get to go. What if I let go of long-term? What if I just am now and it's aligned right now? And that what I'm doing right now is shaping me to be in alignment with what is, you know, meant to be in the long term. And that power of being in the unknown, of what those new yeses and the new no's are, as we're getting to know ourselves. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
know, what's coming up for me with that is a realization that I have doubted my own discernment, because I've made decisions that have ended up in these like hell holes with really toxic things happening. And so there's a part of me that doesn't trust my ability to know if that's an actual yes. Is like, is this a yes that's good for me, or is this going to just send me down some road that I'm going to have to learn the hard way, or is it going to be more disastrous? I don't know. So that's really interesting that you talk about letting go of the long term, because I never had any long term before. And now all of a sudden I'm sort of feeling like, well, maybe if I thought in the long term, it would help me not get down these paths that I get so hurt on. And then I'm realizing now what you're saying really, or what I'm hearing is like, if your yes is, if you can start to recognize a yes that actually really deeply resonates with your purity and with your innocence and with your essence, if you've been really disconnected to that for a really long time, that's a whole learning process of figuring out what the yes even is connecting to or no, because it could be out of fear, it could be out of anyway. And so that's helping me see that how the value of trust in my own decisions, and if I make a decision that leads down some road, it can just be another learning process. But I love I can let go again of the long term. Like I thought it was, you know, the whole looking towards the future visioning thing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, okay, great. I can let it go.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, that discernment of that inner voice, the discernment of the trust of what is a true yes or no. Right. So what if we also come into that space where there are no mistakes? That, like you said, like if I create, you know, I make a decision, obviously there was a pathway there. So you find yourself in a situation, go, oh, wait, this really doesn't resonate. I'll pivot. I'll adjust. That's where we get into the flow instead of the stagnancy of, oh shit, I messed up again. You know, it's going, oh, wait, yeah, this isn't my resonance. I can be aware of when these things come into my presence, what those things look like more. So we choose them as an opportunity to learn the feelings, the connection to them, you know, what it looks like, that inner landscape that is creating the outer landscape for those experiences to show up for us. And that's that deep self-reflection of going, oh, wait, I don't need that anymore. and pivot from it, and then tune in even more and go, okay, wait, that's, you know, that deep trust of what's happening when we're choosing certain experiences, and seeing them each as a learning tool, right? And so that we can identify it rather than judge it. When we shift from the judgment, we recognize what led us to make that decision. You know, the inner thoughts, the inner connection to that. It's powerful. It's powerful. And then, you know, it's that relaxation about a decision and that inner trust of discernment where we're going, what does that really feel like? So I know that, you know, even though there's that distrust, there's also that space that you know that you have trusted. Right. So it's like for all of us, we know some of that quiet space that feels connected. So it's going, okay, well, what if I invite that into this moment that supports the decision and knowing my resonance, so that we shift from here into, you know, the feeling state or the connection to the self. You keep inviting that clarity, keep inviting that knowing, and where that, how we feel that, and how we experience that. So yeah, thank you for bringing that in, Ray. Yeah, and Diamond Heart there, pure isness equals free. Absolutely. It's what is, being with what is. Ah, and there's no mistake. And that's where we're invited right now, and to just freeing judgment. And I know I'm still freeing judgment of myself and decisions and life paths. And, you know, it's just an ongoing, it's an ongoing experience and process, you know, and that this is where we get to learn to say, okay, this is, and grow into what we were talking about earlier, is no mistakes. Because we're here right now. We're alive. We're growing, we're aware, we're connecting more and more. Right? So it's going, oh wow, what have those things been teaching me? What have those things been showing me? What do I get to grow from that? You know, it's powerful. It's powerful to I had a big one yesterday with that too, you know. Felt like I just like closed in on myself, and it was just like, oh yeah, right, okay, wow, look at all these things that have brought these opportunities to me that I've wanted to judge or resist or push out, or, you know, all those things, and just being like, yeah, let's just be grateful for who we've come through that and who we're choosing to be, and that we always, 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 always have the option to adjust and pivot and shift. And that's what life is. This is this flow of the adventure, right? You know, I know, you know, Ray and other people, you know, a lot of us are super adventurous. You know, we go on these, you know, epic, you know, excursions, maybe internally, but also in nature. It's like, okay, climbing up a mountain, the rocks are sliding. Okay, I got to pivot over here, you know, I got to adjust. Or the river, you know, I'm getting taken by the river. Oh, got to, you know, adjust, you know. And so it's like, that is life. You know, that's life. And we get to welcome ourselves into that life. And when we choose to look at life that way, we create more harmony because we're willing to meet what's there. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate the depth that you all showed up with today. There was an incredible amount of energy that moved in our field today. It was just like, woo. And then I just loved the stillness space, because I could feel all of you just like right there, right there, right there with it. And it's just exciting for me to, and I think all of us, to keep feeling this more deeply within ourselves as we're growing, as we're choosing to embody and stay devoted to our path and ourself. Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo. that's what we can come into too, is that, you know, that celebration and the gratitude for what we have created for this moment to become more in tune with the self. So just as a reminder too, I just wanted to share, we're starting our Liberate Your Soul program right after this. So if any of you have been wanting to jump on, it's now time. The train is ready to embark, but we still have some room to board. So if it's interesting to you, just email me right after and we'll get you in. And also, I always appreciate, any gifts or donations that you like to share for our time together today. And those links are in the email. The replay emails will also be down below the YouTube video for the replay. And I'm just wanting to share just so much gratitude, for this consistent community and connection on all the levels that you keep showing up for yourself, and we keep showing up for each other here in these spaces. And it's just a really profound time. And so just keep welcoming yourself into it with as much love and connection, embrace as you can. That's where we're at, So let's just close out with a short grounding integration meditation, and then we'll shift. So just taking a moment here and maybe just acknowledging all that opened up and showed up for you in our time together, our space together here. Just coming into the deep gratitude for you. Going into the deep gratitude for you and your life. And deep gratitude for the space that we have to be able to come in and connect into. The deep gratitude for life, nature, divinity, and unity as we are. Beautiful. Just allowing all that came forward for you to integrate with ease. That's ready to come alive for you does so, and that you can embrace it and be patient and gentle and allowing and open in a heart and mind and soul for all that is here for you. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love to you all, and I'll be posting the replay, and just also letting you know that I'm open for one-to-one sessions too, and those links are in the emails as well. So I love you all, and we'll be in touch. And feel free to email me at any point if you have anything you want to share. And so if you like to unmute yourself, thank you, Claudia. Stillness makes room for expansion. Absolutely. And also, yeah, thank you, Ray. Hi, Kristen. Nice to see you. Yay. Yeah, thank you, Ray. It's a blessing for you to be here. So,
many blessings, everyone.
Yeah, and Alan and everyone here.
Thank you, everyone. Yes. Marvelous, marvelous.
Yeah, Richard, Sarah, Meredith, Marie, Dorina, Charmony, Claudia, Andrew, and Selena. Thank you all so much. Steve, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Thank
love you.
you. I'm unmuted or not?
Nope, you're not.
I'm what? I am muted or I'm muted.
Love you all. We'll see you next time.
Oh, I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.